Ag PhD full episodes and more are now available on Acres TV, the newest ag platform connecting you to fields of information. Look for us on watchacrestv.com.
During our Farm Basics time today, we're going to talk about the difference between a root inhibitor herbicide versus a shoot inhibitor herbicide.
All right, what we're discussing here is how herbicides get into a weed and control that weed. And when you're putting on something in the soil, you may just think, well, is it killing the seed or is it killing the roots off? How is it actually working? Well, understanding today's topic, root versus shoot inhibitor, is really important.
All right, so with a weed, most of these weeds are going to germinate in the top, let's call it inch of soil. So let's say that my weed seed is sitting at 1 inch deep in the soil. The shoot is going to be above that. The root is going to be below that. With the shoot inhibitor herbicides, which quite frankly are most of the residual herbicides on the market today, we talk often on our show about group 15 herbicides and many that are similar to that. Those are what we would call shoot inhibitors. So we want to keep those shallow. If you get those, let's say 4 or 5 inches deep in the ground, those herbicides, it's not going to do you a whole lot of good because the seed for that weed is 1 inch deep and the shoot is more shallow than that. So that's why we have to keep it so shallow for the shoot inhibitor herbicides.
With the root inhibitor herbicides, we're talking about that deep root system that, like Brian said, is down below that seed. Well, we've got a lot more forgiveness here about tilling in some of these residuals and working them into the soil. I know a lot of gardeners will talk about this. Yeah, I'm going to put on something like preen and I'm going to till it down into the soil. That's fine to do because preen or trifluralin is a root inhibitor, and that one can be just a little bit deeper in the soil. As long as it's still concentrated when that root system comes in contact with it, you're going to take up enough preen or trifluralin or any of the root inhibitors to control that weed.
So that's really all there is to it. It's a shoot inhibitor herbicide or a root inhibitor herbicide. It's important to understand what you've got so you know where you should place that in the soil. Either way, I would say this. We like seeing residual herbicides incorporated. And the reason why is because, let's face it, both the shoot starts and the root always is, hopefully, below ground. So if you lay a herbicide on the soil surface, now you need to have rain to get it in, as opposed to if you till that herbicide in, you'll get a little faster activity, a little better activity, and it will require a little less rainfall to get that herbicide into the plant.
Well, that's kind of nice to understand root versus shoot inhibitors, but will they control our weed of the week? We'll show you how to stop this tough weed later in the show.